again to Ruslan Bortnik YouTube channel in English. My name is James Talberg, and again, I'm today here with Ruslan Bortnik. We are going to have a unique discussion, a unique interview today, because in 2 days we'll have a Ukrainian anniversary. Ukraine will have its 33rd year of independence. Ruslan, thank you for finding time and joining today.
It's a pleasure for me. Thank you for this help, James.
Absolutely. I think I'm not going to make too many points or opening statements. I'm more curious just to hear, if you can summarize for us 33 years of Ukrainian independence. How did the country achieve its independence? What were the positive moments? What were the negative moments during those years? And in your opinion, what should be the future plans and goals for the state as it is?
I will try to be short in this question because it could be a very long talk, but I'll try to be as much concrete as is possible, and I'll try to count in final count this situation with Ukraine, because nowadays we have a 33rd anniversary of our independence. It's a Christ age, so we are able to calculate something. And if we are taking a calculator in our hands, we can see that Ukraine lost 40% of its population from 1991. Near 20 million people left Ukraine or died during the last 33 years. And this situation is this situation with the depopulation of Ukraine. I think maybe it's the worst situation in the world during the last 30 years. We lost also 18% of our territory, internationally recognized territory, which now is occupied by Russian forces. Also, we lost our industry, heavy industry, all type of machine building and so on. We lost our fleet, military fleet and civilian fleet. We have a lot of losses during this time. Only one we have for now, we save for now, it's our hope. We still have hope to beat the prosperous country, to build the prosperous country in the future. We still have hope to build the sovereign country, which will be a part of European Union, which will be part of developed world. So with this hope, we go further in our future with a lot of losses, but with a big hope. We are trying to survive in this situation.
There was a lot of successful projects and big missions that just started with hope. So I think we should rest assured that should be enough. If we go back to the situation that is currently happening on a battlefield, just to touch for a little bit, I don't want to stick with that for too long. What is currently happening on the front line between Russia and Ukraine in the Kursk region? Are there any developments, or the front line is stabilizing itself and things are going to be paused for a little while?
There is a significant changes in the offensive operations from the both sides. Now we have an antagonistic offensive operation from Ukrainian and Russian side. Ukraine is continuing our advantage on the Kursk region, but it's slowing, not so fast as it was in the first weeks of this offensive operation. And Russia continues her own offensive operation in Pokrovsk region, in Donbass also. And I'll try to share you a map, if it will be possible, maybe.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I wanted to touch that part that as much as Ukraine have created a game-changer situation, Ukraine is suffering a lot of losses in the territory and the strategic points on the eastern side.
Yeah, but at the same time, a Russian offensive operation is also slowing in Donbass. This is not so fast like it was in previous time. So it's look like a race, a military race, a very bloody, of course, race. Who will be first? Who will achieve the main points in this offensive operation? For Russian forces, it's a very big city, Pokrovsk. Here is, which is the main city in the south of Donetsk Oblast, south of Donbass. And if they will be successful, if Russia will be successful in achieving this city, it means Ukraine will lose a huge amount of territory in the south front, and there will be a significant risk for Zaporizhia, Zaporizhska Oblast and Dnipropetrovska Oblast also. Or if Ukraine will be able to achieve much more territory of Kursk region and will achieve to come close to the Kursk, and it will be a political crisis and also a logistic crisis for the Russian forces, which are operating in the northeast of Ukraine on Kharkiv direction and of course on Sumy direction. So it looks like we still now in our military race. Who will be first?
So Ukraine is trying to get to the main city in the Kursk region, which is Kursk itself, and that's the capital city of the region. And Russians were trying to advance on the eastern side to a strategical city on the Ukrainian land. And whoever is going to achieve that point first, they will cause a strategic and potentially political crisis for the other party.
Oh, yes, you're right. Moreover, both sides trying to continue these operations with very high information operations. They're trying to perceive each other, societies of each other, or in success or unsuccess in this operation. So the informational context, this cognitive context, is even more important for nowadays than in even the military context, because Ukraine trying to destabilize Russia, Russia is trying to destabilize Ukraine inside. This is the most simple way to achieve a victory in this war.
There is a strong informative front line.
Yeah, also Ukraine is trying
who's doing a better job?
Sorry?
Who's doing a better job at the moment in that propaganda war?
I'm living in Ukraine, so it's hard for me to compare because I'm not clear understanding what is going on inside of Russian society. But Ukraine is also very, very successful in this job. And one more thing is very important. Ukraine is trying to change the methods of doing warfare in this situation generally. Ukraine is trying to change from the trench war, in which Ukraine will not be successful because Russia has much more resources, much more people, soldiers, and so on. Ukraine is trying to change from trench war to the maneuvering war, war without long trenches, but only using the very good prepared troops which are cutting the lines, which are spreading and going very deep inside of territory. In this maneuvering war, Ukraine is better than Russia because we have a lot of ammunition from Western partners, a lot of vehicles, armored vehicles from Western partners. We have better logistics, we have better investigation, intelligence because of Western partners and their ability. So we are trying to change the methods of this warfare at all, to back these methods to the beginning of the war, to the time of Russian offensive operation and to the time of the first Ukrainian counter-offensive operations, which were made in the autumn 2022. I'm talking about the Kharkiv counter-offensive operation of Ukrainian forces and Kherson counter-offensive operation of Ukrainian forces. So it could be a very big change in this war. But will it be successful from Ukrainian side? I still don't know. The next months will show it for us.
From the economical perspective, because obviously war and everything related is tightly connected with economics. And we've got news that the Western allies of Ukraine are going to lower the amount of money, supplies, and ammunition that they're planning to send and transfer to Ukraine in the years that are going to come. Specifically, Germany is lowering by 50% the budget that it was allocating to help Ukraine. What does that mean for you?
I think one of the reasons of this Ukrainian offensive operation in Kursk region was some kind like a reliance on additional aid from Western partners. Because if you have a longer battlefield, we need more resources. And Ukraine counted to obtain a lot of resources, much more resources like it was promised before from the Western partners. And I don't know such a big cutting of help of Ukraine. Our Western allies are continue to fulfill their agreements with Ukraine, but they are not ready to give something more, even taking into account the Kursk operation of Ukrainian forces. And this is the problem. So Ukrainian government, the Ukrainian president are asking us Western partners to give more. And they are criticizing the Western partners because these partners are not ready to give more because they have their own budgets, state budgets, they have their own calculation of possible resources to transfer them for Ukraine. But September 6th, there will be a new Ramstein forum, and maybe there will be maybe the decision to
announce new packages.
Yes, something else for Ukraine. But I don't think any serious cutting of spreading for Ukraine. If you are talking the German situation, which is very famous in world mass media, but the Germans gave for Ukraine everything they promised, but they are not ready to give something additional. This is the truth.
But just in general, do you see a connection between if they will start cutting more financial aid and military aid? Is there a connection between that and a potential slowdown on the front line?
I don't know, but if they will give something more for Ukraine, it means they will give this for offensive operation on Russian lands. This is the problem.
This is tricky for them now.
It's tricky for them. It's painful for them because Russia is able to answer for them in asymmetric way, in different methods. So Western partners of Ukraine are trying to don't look like they are standing behind this escalation, behind this offensive operation of Ukrainian forces in Kursk region. So it's difficult for them to make this decision.
The last part that I want to break down here, it's soon going to be a month since Ukraine have attacked Kursk region. We haven't seen a strong reaction or a revenge from the Russian side. Are they still planning? Are they purposely stretching that time to create more tension? And in your opinion, what's going to happen, or what is happening at the moment with that response?
Today's Russian President Vladimir Putin said that Ukraine is standing behind the attack to Kursk nuclear power plant. And it looks like Russia is growing up this tension, this temperature of nuclear threat, but step by step, not very fast. Moreover, Russia is preparing her offensive operation, counteroffensive operation in Kursk region also. And Russia has created 3 new main military commanders, Bryansk, Belgorod, and Kursk special commanders. It means that even Ukrainian force withdraw from Russian territory, Russian forces will continue, are going to continue this operation, maybe even Ukrainian lands, borderlands of Chernigivsk and Sumsky region and Kharkivsky region also. It means that war changed a lot. It's a full-scale bilateral war. It's not only defense operation for Ukraine anymore, because we are on the foreign lands now in these moments. It's very significant change. And also the third reason for me, from my perspective, Putin is trying to to hide this situation from Russian society. Because if the Russian government will be very sharp in its statements on this topic, it means that the Russian government recognized this problem and
So they're trying to lower the importance.
Yes, and recognized its own mistakes and losses in this situation. So they are trying to hide this situation, to say this only a border fight, or it's not a strategic dangerous for us. At the same time, they are preparing to answer, symbolic answer for this attack, to pursue the Russian society and their own allies that Russia is still strong.
Will there be an election in Ukraine in 2025?
It could be if the Trump will win in the United States, I think. Moreover, I see as may some kind of preparation stages in Ukraine to these elections. I am talking about a new religious law. I am talking about the activation of political parties. Some players in Ukrainian political system think that this election could be in 2025, especially if the White House will change in the United States.
Do you think the current president, Vladimir Zelensky, is going to run again for his post?
I'm sure indeed, but I'm not sure that he will be successful in this situation, because he collected a lot of anti-ratings already, and the society is tired a lot from the now-doing president. Of course, Vladimir Zelensky is the most popular politician in Ukraine for now, but because there is no election, there is no competitors for him at this moment. If the election will be announced, there will be a lot of competitors, starting from the ex-commander of military forces of Ukraine, Mr. Zaluzhny, and other persons who are able to compete Zelensky.
Do you think Vladimir Zaluzhny still has chances to compete and potentially win? Because I feel like the momentum of his popularity has been lost, and it will be pretty hard to revamp yourself again. In my opinion, his popularity was at its peak when the Ukrainian army had a lot of battlefield achievements, and he didn't went on that momentum when he could have, and it might be hard to make that comeback. What do you think about that?
I think Mr. Zaluzhny now in safe mode, in like a Ukrainian ambassador in Great Britain, but he is not forgotten in Ukraine. He is posting a very attractive photos with wife, with a very strong British suit, a tie, and so on. He looks he looks now more
like a politician.
More like a politician, yes, like it was even before. So, but he is in safe mode now. It means that he is not responsible for the crises which are going now in Ukraine. And this is a very, very good, very useful, profitable starting position for the presidential elections.
So he's in a safe position, and potentially it's going to be pretty easy to rebuild his popularity again if he decides to come back to Ukraine.
Moreover, we have Syrsky, we could have another young leader, young Ukrainian heroes who could compete with Zelensky.
Right. We'll keep monitoring that situation. Ruslan, thank you for your comments today, and I'll see you in the next episode.